Hi, guys, and welcome to Girl Chat. As the video suggests, this video is about my breakup with my ex. It's a video I've been meaning to make for a while now, but I've been hesitant to talk about it and to create the video just because of how painful it was for me. But besides the pain is all of the questions that I was scared of answering or I wasn't ready to answer at the time. I'm finally ready to talk about it and get into it. A lot of people that I spoke to advised me and told me that I didn't need to make a video, but I shared publicly online on my platform about my relationship, and I feel like if it ends, it ends. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I've always been real and authentic to you guys about the good things and the bad things. And bad things happen sometimes, unfortunate things happen sometimes. And I like to keep it as real as possible on my page. And the realistic truth is, I got dumped, and that's what happened. So, the facts of the matter, actually, before we even dive into it, is that he broke up with me. And this was in January of 2025, the beginning of the year. Um, he decided that our relationship was not working anymore, and I respected it because one of my boundaries as well is don't ever let someone tell you twice that they don't want to be with you. I feel like once they have decided that, then you need to respect that, and so I did. So let's talk about it. So, what happened? I know I'm in a better space to talk about it now, but it doesn't take away from the pain I felt when everything happened. I'm just in such a better place now that I can sit, reflect, and talk about it without like completely falling apart. If you had asked me a week after everything happened, I wasn't able to talk about it without crying, and now I can, which told me that it was now time for me to talk about it. As you've all seen, the posts and like everything on my Instagram is down. I've taken everything down. Yeah, because it all happened so quickly, so fast. Let me give you a brief history to kind of catch you up on the timeline of our relationship. Last year, I started talking to this boy and I really liked him. Our conversation was so good. There's a lot of things about his character that definitely caught my attention from get-go. Like, he represented so much of what I want. I'm not attracted to like toxicity, mind games, nonchalant, whatever. Like, I love my men chalant, as like I love them so chalant. He was very consistent and intentional with the way that he spoke to me. Started dating. We had that first trip to Cape Town, and then we had the second trip to Durban. The Durban trip comes up, and we have some very hard conversations, like very hard conversations about our future together. To my understanding, we had spoken about all of these things, compromised, and moved on. Microphone died, so I'm just gonna continue talking as I normally would. So, we had discussed it, got into a certain conclusion and moved on. I didn't realize these were the same things that were still lingering in his mind, because he then brought up the same like things we spoke about as part and parcel of the reasons for the breakup. It's a very confusing thing for me, if I'm being honest, but at the same time, as much as I didn't understand it, I respected it. So yeah, Durban happens, we come back, we're chilling, we're good, it's I love you, like, love, like, kimanati, like, love is good. And then we had a disagreement. So I basically got triggered by something because of a situation I was in the past. He was aware of my past and my traumas and everything, because I was very open, very vulnerable with him about everything. So he knew the things I'd experienced in the past, and he understood why I was triggered. But it was my reaction that then caused a little bit of friction because I got very upset, you know, because the specific topic was very hard for me. And this is where I can also call myself out and say that is that I haven't always had the best emotional regulation, especially in situations that can be very triggering for me. He did his best to accommodate that and be there, but this specific situation felt a little bit unfair for me because it really was such a triggering thing for me, and I felt judged for like my lack of emotional regulation in that space because it led to the breakup. The way that I've always imagined breakups to be is something that builds up. Do you get what I'm saying? But when you don't necessarily see the build up of something, the person getting to that point leaves you very confused. So I don't know if these things for him had just been sitting on his mind and he just like needed like that argument to happen and everything just lights were out. Do you get what I'm saying? I was very upset. I was very angry at him and the whole relationship, thinking about the extent at which it had gotten to. He had met my parents. I had shared on my platforms. I had basically declared, I even told my tete about him. Tete in Shona is like your father's sister. So, because my dad had told me that it's important to tell your tete these things. In Ndauza Anna Tete, I basically tell Anna Tete, no, there's this guy, he's, you know, all this and that. I spoke so much good about him. Guys, I switched off, like the lights were out. I shut down completely. Then cutting off contact. I blocked him on WhatsApp. I then spoke to him on Instagram after that. After a while, actually. There was a day that I wasn't doing so great and I did reach out to him and he was very kind, he was very there. But that was about it in terms of any like connection that we had. So, dealing with the breakup was the next part. I struggled to get past the notion of everything that I had done, the steps I had taken. I felt it's so hard not to self-criticize after rejection. You go into your head, you're like, why do relationships not work out for me? Is it me? What's wrong with me? And da 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 da. Do you know what I'm saying? I stepped into that place a little bit. And what sucked was that I hadn't told anyone because I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed and I didn't know how to tell anyone. I eventually told some of my friends. I told my brother. When I tell you guys, I really took my time telling like the people around me. I did. The people I feared the most to tell were my parents. That one was hard. That one was really hard. And my tete, and I haven't told them. As I'm making this video, I have not told them. It's been really, really hard. I'm just coming over here and just being honest, man. I'm a human being and I'm just being honest. It's been really, really hard. This is the first serious relationship I've brought home. Like to actually bring a person to be like, hey, this is my person I intend to like build a future with. And for it to end like not even a month later is just diabolical. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I sat there and I was like, what am I even going to say? I know that I'm definitely gonna have the conversation with him this month. I'm just being dramatic, yeah guys. The next part was telling you guys So I feel like I'm building up the ladder. Like I started off with like my friends and stuff like that. They were the easiest people to tell, but that even took me time. And from that, it's like, okay, a bit of more external people asking me, like I was honest, you know, sharp. And then after that, I'm like, okay, let me share on my online platform and let you know, guys. And after that, I'm gonna then sit down and then be like, parents, I got dumped. Okay, I'm not gonna say it like that. I'm sorry, guys. Humor is a form of deflection for me. So yeah, that was basically how the breakup happened. So it wasn't anything like dramatic, like cheating or anything like that. He just had reasons that he felt would lead him to being unhappy in our relationship, and I respected that decision, and that was it. Basically, I don't have anything else to tell you guys, because without telling you intrinsic details. So how do I feel about the breakup? I was very angry and disappointed at the beginning as it all happened, and he apologized. Now I kind of feel a sense of relief, because better now than later. I wouldn't want a situation where, because people can do that, people can waste years of your life and have no intention to be with you or pretend. And people are cruel like that. I can appreciate that he was honest with me and told me like 5 to 6 months in, instead of years later. The second thing is that as more time goes by, our breakup makes more and more sense. Yo, this neighbor's dogs need to calm down, eh? I understand more and more why God intended for it to happen this way. God knew that the breakup was not going to happen for me. I'm a very deep and intentional lover. When I love somebody, I love them with my whole heart, and I'm not one to give up on them, because I love unconditionally. And when I say I love unconditionally, it doesn't mean that you can do anything under the sun. It just means that I will fight through all of my power within my capacity for the relationship. But I will not tolerate abuse. I will not tolerate manipulation. I will not tolerate full behavior towards me or my mental health or my being. But for the relationship and the challenges the relationship will face, I will fight tooth and nail before I give up. So God knows that about me, and he knew I wasn't going to be the one. The fact that he was the one that made this decision made a lot of sense to me. And when I thought about it, because I'm like, God knows, and he knows best. My next question was, okay, God, fine, all of this happened, but what was the point of the relationship? And I think that's what leads me to, what did the relationship teach you? The point of this relationship was that God wanted me to learn and realize that love was possible again. I was in a very toxic relationship prior to this one. I lost a lot of parts of myself that I regained in this relationship. The version of me that was in this relationship is a completely different person to the person that was in the toxic relationship. And I feel like God needed me to experience a love that was calm, and that's exactly what it was. It was calm, it was healthy. We spoke about things, we talked about things. As much as it was hard, as much as it was difficult, we did put an active effort in talking about things. I needed that. I needed to experience that. I needed to be with somebody that made me feel safe. And I think that's why the breakup hurt so much, is because I felt so safe. I felt so seen. I felt like this is somebody I would want to be the father of my kids, because of how the sanctuary that they had created, the safety net that he had created. And even though it ended, I can appreciate that I experienced that in that relationship, because he treated me like a princess. I mean, as you all saw. But outside of that, he was very good to me. So God needed me to see that healthy love exists. Oh, and I felt it. I regret nothing. If you ask me if I regret that, I don't regret anything. Yes, the breakup is sad. Yes, it sucks. Yes, you see yourself with somebody like possibly for the rest of your life. Yes, you took all these big steps and leaps of faith, but I'm not going to stop taking steps or leaps of faith just because this one didn't work out for me. If anything, I'm gonna be more delusional. Oh my gosh. Okay, but like within reason and within caution, of course. God wanted me to know that it was possible. And message received. God knew that he wasn't the forever person, but he wanted me to know that it was possible. Do you still believe in love? Now I actually believe in love even more. There's a song that's been stuck on my head. I think it's by Alex Warren. Something so out of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground of your sanctuary. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found something so out of the ordinary. You must be joking. I want to be the cover to someone's Alex. Do you guys don't understand how much I believe in love? Like, y'all, nobody understands. If you guys see me married one day, it means that, man, that's all I'm saying. that's all I'm gonna say. If I was able to love and pour myself into this relationship with the person that God did not intend for me, how much love will I give to the man that God has set apart for me? How much passion, love, commitment, pouring into each other's cups am I going to give to the man that God actually intends for me? You must be joking. You actually must be telling a joke. Yeah, guys, I got heartbroken, but yeah, I still believe in love 100%. Are you still in each other's life? We are not. We are actually strangers now. It's a little sad, but the most fragile form of relationships that we have, but the most deepest ones. And yet it is the relationship that is easiest to break up. So it's actually an enigma, because if you really think about it, how is it that we share so much of our deepest parts of ourselves with this one person, and then they just become a stranger? I'm gonna say that one more time. How is it we share the deepest parts of ourselves, open up our hearts, get vulnerable, open up about your trauma, the deepest parts of your skeleton to someone, and they become a stranger? And it's so interesting. The most fragile relationship we have in our lives is the one that we form the deepest connections with. But the people that are there most of the time, every day, continuously, some don't even know these deep skeletons you have. I don't know if we're ever going to be friends. For me, I don't know, someone breaking up with you is like enough communication for me to be like, I don't want to really have anything to do with you. So yeah, and he doesn't really reach out much to me, so I think like he also just wants to like yeah, and I respect that. Like, it's cool. It's unlikely for me to reach out, because for me, I was the one that got dumped. So to reach out, to be like, hey, one of the last things was that, so I created my vision board and I had included him in my vision board. Well, this part is a little sad. Oh my gosh, one of the quotes I put on the board was, "You don't give up on someone you love." And I was definitely referring to him because long distance can be very difficult. So I'd put that on there as like a reminder to not give up, because my vision board is here, so I see this thing all the time. You know, I'd put some goals for a relationship as well. Down there, I'd put a trip that we had briefly spoken about, well, before everything happened. And so I put it down today because I want to change it and put new goals now, since a lot has changed. And I'm excited for what 2025 has to bring. Sad beginning to my year because I lost my relationship, I'd lost my job. I didn't even know what was next. I was just fighting for my life, bro. Ultimately, I trust God, and God is going to do so much for me this year. And I know that also at some point in my life, I will meet that person that was meant for me. So I trust God in that as well. I just trust God, bro. Like, in this life, things don't balance, things don't make sense. But I serve a God that highly favors me. I believe I am God's favorite child. I strongly believe I'm God's favorite child, so it's gonna work out for me. But thank you guys for your support. If you followed me on the basis of the relationship, I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but I hope you can stay for the rest of my journey, and I promise to give you relationship content when the time comes. I promise I will give it to you. For now though, just kind of watch me a little bit. You know, I'm entertaining, I'm fun, it's just it's gonna be a pause on the love stuff for now. Oh, the last thing, what's next? Am I open? No, I'm not open. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I need a minute. So many things from this relationship, so many things I've learned about myself, so many things that he also pointed out to me in myself that I can see where I lack as well. And I need to work on these things. As much as we come as we are and we love and support each other in a relationship, I think that if you can come as the most healed version of yourself, such that you can make your relationship easier to navigate and get through, because communication is key, but the way in which you communicate, the way in which you express yourself, the way you speak to one another, etc. It's like, if you can take the time to really change and grow so many factors about yourself, then why not? Such that when you enter the relationship, you're bringing a very healthy version of yourself. You attract what you are. So I need that time. I know at some point I will definitely open up myself to it, and I'm not going to look for it though. I've never looked for a relationship once in my life, guys. Every relationship I've been in has just wandered into like my space, if I can say that. Because I never go looking. Like, I'm never like, I'd really like to get into a relationship. Do you get what I'm saying? I just be chilling, and then some nigga decide, let me just go and disturb. No, I'm playing. But for real though, I don't look for these things. They just find me, bruv. Like, yo. And now here we are, heartbroken. But we're healing, okay? So thank you guys for joining me on this video and having this girl chat with me. And yeah, you can let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, whatever, or if you wanna talk to me, or if you're going through a similar thing, that's also okay. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing so much better. I'm in a much better space than I was when all of this happened. So I'm good. But thank you for joining me, you guys, and bye.